I love fish, and I have a very exciting fish story to tell y'all about today. It's about the first time I set up my saltwater aquarium. And I don't know if you have a saltwater aquarium or if you know someone who has and you've kind of seen some of the maintenance things you have to do to keep it up and running, but there's a lot of times where it's not the easiest job, I'll say that, but it is definitely worth it. So the first thing that you have to do to start a saltwater aquarium is, well, first off, you need a tank. So I went off to the store and I bought this really large tank, and I got home and I set it out on the table. And I was so excited. I was just ready to get these fish in there. But you have to do other steps before you can put fish in, obviously. And I just had this love for the fish. Even before I picked them out specifically, or I knew exactly which kinds I was getting, I just had this common love for them. So I was pretty pumped. The first thing after the tank that you need to do is you need to put in water. And saltwater aquariums are very, very strict when it comes to water. Because you basically have to become a scientist, especially a chemist, to be able to make the water exactly how it needs to be. Because if you don't have it exactly how it needs to be, then the fish won't live in it. And so you have to have the right amount of certain chemicals in the water, and you have like good chemicals, and then like other chemicals you can't have too much of or too little of, or it'll mess the whole thing up. So it can be really hard at first to learn and understand exactly how much they need. And then you also have other things like you have to have the exact temperature, and the pH levels have to be exactly right. And so it took me all day to read and study and learn how to do it, but I finally did it, and the water was exactly how it needed it to be. And so after that, I let it set for a day because it needs to regulate. And the next day, I went out and I bought a light for my aquarium, because the fish, it also helps regulating natural heat into the water to keep it just right. So I got this big, massive light, and the light was probably one of the most expensive things in the saltwater aquarium. Then I got a little spacer so I could separate some of the water from below and some of the water from above, so for different areas for the fish to be. And I looked back, and it was just so cool. And then I went the next day, and I got little plants and rocks and other things that the fish normally, use in the ocean. And as I looked at it, I was like, man, this is pretty good. And on the fourth day, then I got these things that are called moon rocks. And there's like these moon rocks that you can put in the aquarium. And I wanted it to be kind of like, a replica of my world, the light as the sun. And now moon rocks so it can look at the moon. And I mean, it looked really, really cool at this point. And then on the sixth day of my aquarium adventure, I went and put fish in. I got my fish, the ones I've been so excited for, the ones that I loved. I put them in, and that was pretty special, honestly. The fish being able to swim around and explore the environment that I created them. It was really cool. Two of the first fish I put in there were actually clownfish. I named them Trooper and Cooper, and it was just like, wow, just to see them finally be able to go in their home. And then, other fish came in, and I introduced them, other creatures, starfish, clams, things like that. And then before long, the fish started talking to each other and creating a community with each other. And to see that I started that for them, it was just the whole reward in itself. It was so great. And the whole aquarium came to life. It was beautiful. And it came to the point after a little while that the fish began to wonder where their world came from. They swam from, end of the aquarium to the other end of the aquarium, and they saw how huge the expansion of the aquarium looked to them. And they looked up and they saw light, and they saw all this other, creation that I put in it. I would feed them. It would be nighttime, and I would put the fish food in there, and little flakes would come down the water, and they called this manna, and I didn't know where it came from. And some fish would say that this food, everything came from the Jeremy, and then another fish said, "No, you're stupid. There's no Jeremy." And they're like, "Then where did this come from?" And like, there's a huge explosion, and it hit a certain fish mineral, and came from the original grain of fish dust. And you can imagine at this point, I'm like, that's not what happened though. I was hurt. My feelings were pretty hurt that, these things I created, I put you here, and they didn't believe in me. I was pretty hurt. And they began coming up with other theories of, is there a Jeremy? Is there not? Is there this, that? And I remember thinking that your world is so much smaller than my world, right? How are you going to question me? You don't even know what my room looks like. You don't know what a bathroom looks like. Well, you go there eventually, but you don't know what it looks like. You don't know what my house looks like. You don't know, you can't grasp in your little tiny fish brain what a neighborhood is. A world, a universe. You have no idea. But you have the guts, the fish guts, to question me. And I was in disbelief that you think you know enough science in your small little aquarium to compete, to question. I created you, I put you in your habitat. It's because of me that you're here where you are. And then I let it go for the time, and then they began to poop in their aquarium. And they pooped in their aquarium, and it started to get all nasty and disgusting, and the filter got clogged up. And then they began to question me. Oh, well, why would the Jeremy allow us to live in this nasty world? And I'm like, you're questioning me because you pooped in your aquarium? And so I'm a good person I'm a good creator, a good person for my fish, and so I moved them outside, and I rolled up my sleeve, and I put my arm in the dirty, disgusting tank, and I cleaned what I could to make it better for them. And as I extended my arm into their world, then some of the fish, the faithful fish, looked up and said, "Oh look, it's the Jeremy. He's reaching into our world to clean us, to save us from it." And then other fish will look at him and say, "That's not the Jeremy, that's just an ugly fish or something. How could the Jeremy be in both out of our world and in our world at the same time?" And I'm like, well, I'm doing it because I'm cleaning your poop. Man, fish are really stupid sometimes. But no, seriously, some of the fish, the ones that, didn't believe in me, that said that there was no Jeremy, when I reached my hand in to clean that tank, after a minute, when I was trying to help them clean their part of the tank, they fled. They turned and they ran, swam. They turned and they swam away from me. I was trying to help them. Other fish, though, did come when I reached in there to clean, to save them. Some rejected, and some swam towards me. And I was really, really, really glad. And it brought a smile to my face when those fish stayed faithful, and when they turned to me when I was helping them. And so I went over to the other side of the aquarium to clean where some of the not as faithful fish were, and one of them started biting my finger, and it started attacking my hand. I was like, really? I thought about this scenario, and this whole scenario with the fish tank, and setting up the fish, and me being let down by some of the fish. And I think it's a perfect analogy with us and God. God lives in infinite space. Think about that. Think about the analogy of living in a room, your house, and then the small fish tank. How much more you know than fish. That's how it is with God. He lives in heaven and everywhere, and He is infinite, and He has power greater than we can even grasp. His knowledge is so far greater that we can't even begin to comprehend Him. We're like these little fish. We don't understand what's beyond the walls of our aquarium, what's beyond the walls of our universe. But we're so full of arrogance, like we know something, like we can question our God, the one who created us and knows every single detail about us and put us and made our world just right so we can live in it. Put the axle tilt just right so we can live. He gave us the sun and the moon just in the right times in the right spots. He gives us what we need, and He does it exactly how we need it. But we question Him because we poop in our aquarium. We sin in our world, and we get all disgusting and gross. And then we look at Him and we're like, why? Why did you make us like this? He wants to help us. To summarize, to close off this video, I'm going to read a passage. James chapter 4 verses 7 through 10. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Come near to God and He will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts. Grieve and mourn and wail. Change your laughter to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord and He will lift you up. So today, you and I, together, let's start showing our Creator, the one who created us and our world. Let's show Him the respect that He deserves. Have a good day.